But yeah, I pick his brain all the time, just, you know, about everything, right?
Sure.
And
he's a great guy.
Nutrition and, you know, for the ladies, menopause and all, you know, stuff that happens. And, you know, of course, it's not just the inside, but the outside too. And speaking of, I didn't bring my bottle with me. So mad at myself.
You're making tequila?
Ooh, that always makes you feel young.
Well, you know,
until you wake up the next morning.
It's a probiotic. It's a coffee, right?
Well, yeah, exactly. You know, it kills germs. You know, gargle with it. No, I've got a new skincare coming out.
Really?
I tried it the last year. Thank you. And I love hearing, because I look at myself, you know, I've been taking pictures for the last several days. I've been at every event. Then I look and it's like, oh God, I'm so wrinkled. And who's that old woman? No, I'm serious. I'm serious. So thank you. Because it's the cream. But, you know, I'll give you guys, I'll send you the info that you can clip in later on, or go to SharonBruneau.net or to my websites, because I'm going to start promoting it. It's a formulator that is well known in the bodybuilding world. He's a chemist and normally makes like proteins and this, that, and herbs and all, you know. But he created this peptide. His wife has serious eczema and psoriasis, serious skin problems, right? She found that while she was using it, like all up here, right? Poor thing, along her arms. Eczema and psoriasis. So he made this peptide, and then he sent it to a friend of his in Georgia, who is a chemist, and he creates lotions and serums and stuff like that. And he private labels for companies. There's large companies that use this guy. Anyway, Emmerich, my friend, the formulator, sent his peptide.
I know Emmerich.
To my, you know Emmerich.
I know Emmerich.
Okay, Emmerich Delsay. Yeah. Okay, so he got a hold of me because I've been doing, yes, very well known. He's a classic from the golden era. This guy is a scientist. His brain is just, you know, picking like nutrition and supplements and everything, right? So he gets a hold of me because I've been doing podcasts a lot. And so we'll talk about anti-aging and, you know, the skin and, you know, whatever. And somebody has said, well, why don't you get Botox? And I said, well, if I had the budget, I would, you know, but I don't. So
Botox give you kind of a hard look after a while?
Well, it just smooths out all the wrinkles, right? Anyway.
So you have a very beautiful natural look. Well, you don't have that.
See, I gotta come here more often.
You do, though.
No, but thank you. No, honestly, thank you.
I mean, you really do.
I appreciate that.
You don't look preserved and you don't look artificial.
Well, this cream, he says, please try it. It's free. I like it. It's free, and I trust Emmerich, right? He sends me this stuff, and at first I didn't like it because I was just breaking out like crazy. Really? And I'm like, what is this adult acting? Great. I'm losing hair. I'm getting old, and I'm breaking out. You know, what the hell is a bad joke? You know, too much protein. Oh, John! You know, nice comeback. You know. Brett Davis Comedy Hour.
Next time she comes in, we'll both be wearing hats.
Yeah, we'll both be bald. Well, it's getting better. Look at that, because of Emmerich's stuff. No, so hold on, let me finish. So you're wrecking my promo, man.
I'm impressed.
Stealing my shine.
You look great.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that. You know, I shouldn't shut him up. All the compliments. What's wrong with me, right? So I've been using it. So, you know, the condition of my skin and my neck and everything, and people notice. But when I look at myself, I'm like, you know, when you look at yourself in the mirror, I'm like, yeah.
But you see yourself.
Just an old lady, you know, look in the mirror.
You see yourself all the time.
You see yourself all the time.
So they're going to see the change.
I love it. And now, like, what it was doing was detoxing the skin, because the peptides, epidermal growth factors, like the peptides has epidermal growth factors, oligopeptide-1, which is an amniotic fluid. It's a stem cell.
Wow.
Okay. It corrects your skin. So after it flushed everything out, what it does, it plumps and it tightens, and a lot of the fine wrinkles are gone. I loved it so much. They said, do you want us to private label for you? Absolutely. So I've been getting the backers together because I want to get a stock in my warehouse before I actually start throwing out the major marketing program that I have sitting by for it. But I'm telling you, I don't really promote a lot of stuff.
I've never seen you promote a lot of stuff.
You know, and I just love it so much, and I want to share it. You know, and a couple of my girlfriends have been using it, and they just love it. Like it's so soft. It's just because even whatever, you know, and trust me, you know, I would dabble here and there if I could, right? if you go under the needle, whatever your choice. I mean, if you can, why not? Because a lot of women, my friends and that's like gorgeous, and you would never know, right? But you still have to worry about the condition of your skin. It just gets rid of the pores, everything else. Anyway, so there's my plug, but I just want to get that out there because please watch, and it's called Sharon Bruneau, the cream, and it's an anti-aging, antioxidant cream for your neck, face, and eyes. And I'll get you some.
I want one.
I'll get you some samples. Absolutely. I'll show you everything else, but it's just so that's what I've been working on, and the website, and just we learn to teach, right? So like yourself, right? Like your beautiful wife who's a martial arts expert, but right. You enjoy teaching, you give back. That's what it's about. And so right now I'm just having a heyday making videos and helping people. And I made a comeback because I went through a depression for a period and I got badly out of shape and depressed. But you know what? And even though I knew that, the gym is the answer. Walk into the gym and get busy again. Just do it. Just do it. You'll be glad you did and you'll feel better, right? You not only look better, it makes you feel better. So
exercise and nutrition are the best
antidepressant,
right.
And it's the best therapist, and and I know because and again, so depressed I didn't care, after losing my hubby. But it's when I finally stepped in, I'm like, what took me so long? Because inside what's best to do, right? So yeah, bodybuilding.
But I think you had to go through that process.
We all go through stuff.
Yeah.
It's we all have to deal with stuff, and I think. Now I can look back because that hit me hard. It took me 4 years to recover. And now I'm starting to care again. And it was people like our friend Harry who passed away, right? Yeah. He called me up. He goes, I'm a huge fan. We need to get you back because he knew what happened, right? And, because people still want to see you. I'm like, nobody wants to see me. I messed up and everything else. And in 2018, I was inducted into the Muscle Beach Hall of Fame. And when I got Joe Wheatley, and I was just there on Monday.
How's he doing?
Fantastic. And they honored Corey Everson because she was inducted back in 2005. But they had a celebration for her because she hasn't been back for when they gave her a recognition award, because she is the best of the best, right? 6-time Miss Olympia. Anyway, so it was wonderful being back there. And I walk over and look at my plaque. Yay! But that really got me back in action. Because when I got the call telling me in 2018 that, hey, get your butt out here at Muscle Beach, because you're inducted. And I thought, me? Because I was there for Lando Murray's induction, for Joe Weider's induction, for,
Jack LaLanne.
I wasn't there for Jack's. I was there for Lou's when Stan Lee gave the award. Right. So I never thought I'd have my plaque up there. Like, these are the greats, right?
Because you're very humble, but I told you are one of the greats. We talked about that earlier.
And I thank you. But I never thought, I just feel blessed, right?
You're very humble.
Well, thank you.
And I think the people that are very humble typically don't know they're great. When they're really great at what they do. They don't see themselves in that light. But you are.
Okay, thank you.
But here's the thing: it's nice. The thing I made her blush. Look at she's turning.
I am, and I don't blush either. So it's just hot in here.
It is warm. You mentioned teaching. Yeah. I think when we get to an area of our lives when we're so into what we're doing, to be able to go in an area that we were never able to do, because it takes a lot to be a champion in any endeavor, whether it's business, fitness, bodybuilding, whatever.
Yeah.
You have to be very
passionate.
Yeah. Selfish and passionate.
But yeah.
Because you can't.
That too.
Because it takes a lot. It takes a lot of effort to be that, and you know that.
And and it's true. And some people even say to me, "I feel so selfish," or even when I was training for competition, I was called selfish. You have, and the thing, I never felt selfish, although you are correct, because it's all about you at that time. It was me.
We won't see that. You wouldn't see that at that time.
But you don't, because when you have a passion,
sure, it
drives you. I just felt like a racehorse with blinders on, where you couldn't see anything else, and I just kept going. I had a goal, I had a plan, like all the athletes, not just myself, right? But that's what drives an athlete. is, like, everybody needs a plan, whether you're competing or, you have a new venture coming up or what, you want to go for a degree. Like, you need a plan, right? We all have a passion for something. Like we're talking earlier, my daddy was a great country western singer, and he that was his passion. We always followed. He never became, famous.
But it made him happy.
And I was given this book called Divine Purpose, The Divine Purpose.
I think I have a copy of it.
A great book, and that's what I was going through a slump, right? And when you open that book, the first thing on the first page, what does it say if you have the book?
I don't remember.
Oh, uh-oh.
When did the book come out?
It's not about you. That's the first page. That's the first sentence.
It's not about you.
It's not about you.
Okay.
And I was interested reading that, and we're on the topic of, bodybuilding or any professional sport can be selfish, right? And when I read that, it's like, God, it was always about me. Maybe, it's time to give back, Because the point where it's like, all right, I'm grateful that I achieved my passion, my goal. Now it's time to give back. Now it's not about me. Now let me help you, right?
I believe when you give unselfishly, it comes back to you.
Oh, the best feeling is like, my clients like, I love you so much. Oh my God, I'm making that. Like, I never thought I could do this. And everybody needs a lift, right? And that's what feels good, right?
It's exciting times for you. It's been, the new things that are coming your way, the opportunities, because you're very creative. All you have to do is look at your photography.
Thank you.
Shots of what you did. You never went to college.
No.
You're self-taught.
Yeah.
Repetition after repetition.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. I was in, through hosting some fitness shows, I befriended one of the producers from ESPN, and he invited me to host the James Cagney auction back in 2000, I believe, or 2001, maybe 2003, around there, with John Burke, who is well known through E! Television. He's done a lot of work for them. Enjoyed that so much. He hired me on to host all the Hollywood auctions and everything else. And through that, it goes, well, I'm going to teach you how to be a producer. Like, great, I want to do that. I'm always looking for the next thing, right? Like, that sounds like fun.
Right.
And so I worked for him for 8 years at 20th Century Fox. And I climbed up to be his senior vice president.
Amazing.
Because when you grab something, or at least for me, I grab it and I run with it, and I just want to climb. I just want to, like, we're all like that, right? You want to be the best you can be at what you do, right, no matter what it is. I love a person that puts all the passion and the work into it, but it's hard work. But so what? It pays off, right? So I've just been bouncing around. Straight out of high school, I went to fashion modeling, and the money was so good, I just didn't want it.
So you did fashion modeling right out of high school? Mm-hmm. Before fitness and bodybuilding?
I was never a supermodel. That would have been the ultimate dream. If that were the case, I'd never be a bodybuilder, right? But
because that's what got you to the door.
Yeah.
And then you had to perform.
Yeah.
Which you did.
Yeah.
So you do really well with challenges.
Yeah. I like a challenge. I do.
You do good with obstacles. You have a way of putting the time in, whatever it is. I said reps earlier, but you have a way of just going after what you want, and you put the time and effort and the focus and the discipline in, and you've been able to achieve that. There's people that go to college, they can't do that.
Yeah, and again, it's
I'm
like,
not knocking college, by
no. I understand what you're saying. Like, I've known some, and I met some pretty heavy duties at, like through Fox or through Leader, or different careers that I've had, but they're scholastically brilliant,
sure, but
they're not street smart, right? I find that a lot. It's all about learning. You can take a university course online for free. You can do that. If you want to learn about nutrition, what you think you're missing out because you didn't go to UCLA or Berkeley or whatever, right? Or law, but if you truly just want to learn, you can do it for free. You just don't get a degree.
A thing you can put on the wall.
Yeah. And of course, I'm not going to hire you and that was the thing, like when I was brought into Fox and in the division, and I'm a producer. And so some of the people were like, well, where did you go to school? What university did you go to? What film school did you go to? No, but I was behind the camera, or in front of the camera for a few years.
They were shocked.
And they were kind of like, I felt like they were looking down on me because I didn't have a film degree or this degree or that degree. But it didn't matter because I put the work in. And when I'd ask questions, that's the biggest thing. If you don't know, ask.
So people are afraid to ask.
Exactly.
Because it makes them feel like they're stupid.
Right. Yeah. Or they're embarrassed to ask or they're just too shy. Right. I would say, no matter what, ask. You're stupid if you don't ask, Don't pretend.
Did you learn more from success or failure?
Failure. Absolutely.
Why is that?
Because I never did it again. You know what not to do.
Is it burned?
It burns, man. And it took a couple of failures because I am like that too. I was just talking about, you got to ask. Just go straight to the top. So it made me to start doing that more often. It's like, you know what? I thought I knew it all. I did this. I messed up. I'm sorry. Help me through this part. What was I supposed to do here? Or where can I go to learn more about this? And again, now with the internet, if you're good at research, which is what I did at Fox anyway, right? A lot of research for the division. You can learn pretty quick. You just got to, take the time and just soak it in.
You're good at investigating.
Yeah.
You're good at research.
At research.
See, those are exactly the things I'm good at.
Yeah.
Sarah never went to college and she learned how to do all this stuff from the magazine to the podcasting.
Pick up a book or go on the internet. Like I said, there's so much information available now. You don't have to go to the library and check a book out or, go listen to a teacher for an hour.
Than we did before.
Than when I was a kid. Right. Yeah.
You can find out anything.
Yeah.
And now with AI, you can even write books and not even have to write a book.
Is that not crazy?
Have you tried that?
I was just shown that, was it 2 nights ago, by Rick Ciotti, my friends that I stay with Malibu. It just blew my mind. I wasn't aware of that. AI, yeah. I mean, it could have saved me so much work.
Sarah, we've been hearing about AI for a while.
It's insane.
And we know
and
about the Coronado movies that were way ahead of the time.
Yeah.
Talking about all this stuff a long time ago.
Yeah.
Does it frighten you knowing that AI is that powerful?
Yeah.
It does?
Well, you look back at a lot of these sci-fi movies we grew up with, right? And then you have Logan's Run, you have Hell, you have, all these. And it's like, and they had something, they knew something we didn't yet. I said, well, how come that's not a coincidence? Well, it's been around for a while and they're just tweaking and whatever. But right. AI, let's face it, they're already replacing human workers with robots and automated systems and this, that, and the other.
Amazon has about 100,000 robots that work for them.
Yeah, I saw it. It's so creepy. Oh my God. Yeah.
So do you think that there's like anything, there's advantages, but is it some disadvantages as well? Are we going to become more of a society where we're less social, which we are very social?
Oh, I'm a social person. Oh yeah.
Are we going to see less social?
That scares me.
Right.
Because I need that contact. I love that social.
Exactly.
Right. And that, and plus, it just makes why learn? They'll do it for me.
Right.
It just dummies down the population.
Right.
Because I'll just look it up. He can answer it for me, and now what I saw, you just ask it a question.
It'll go on a whole different tangent. It goes into a whole different levels of things.
Because basically, it researches everything for you, and it's like instant, right?
So Sarah had showed me a couple weeks back. We were talking about the same subject. I don't know how we got on this, by the way, and. Probably because there's a tie to some of our projects that we're working on.
Right.
I think it's fascinating. She asked the AI about me.
Yeah.
And I thought, it's not going to know. It went back to areas and did things.
Yeah.
That I was shocked that it knew about me. I was like, it typed out all this data and information.
The data comes right? Yeah.
And I was shocked that it knew certain. There was a couple things that were off on.
Yeah.
But I'd say about 90% of it was pretty accurate.
See, Rick had asked about me. Who is Sharon Lee Bruneau?
He
just said Sharon Lee Bruneau, right? And of course, bro, the bodybuilding, where I went to high school, and because that's all over Wikipedia and stuff.
Right,
okay.
Right.
And I'm all over social media, and I share a lot about myself. So I'm like, yeah, okay, but it did a quick research. But it did get certain things, like I was inducted into the Muscle Beach Hall of Fame in 2004. No, it was 2018.
So it was off. There's some things.
There's a lot on me. It was a lot off. like the situation was correct, but the dates and, you know,
Yeah.
like I was married to, what did it say? I forget. It's like some actor, and it's like, no.
So basically, no offense to David Pecker, that's his real name, by the way, who owned National Enquirer. I mean, so it's kind of like a National Enquirer AI in some ways.
Yeah. Yeah, there you go.
No offense, David. We met a few times. Not a bad guy, but, you know, he sells still a lot of copies of that.
Yeah. And if you watch Men in Black, the Enquirer is like the truth. It's the Bible truth. It's kind of funny because when they talk about the aliens and everything else, you used to look at the Enquirer like, oh, that's so stupid. But now all this information is coming out what the Enquirer had posted like 10 years ago. Oh my gosh.
So I'm a huge fan of almost everybody that's done great stuff. So an issue came back a while back. They were talking about actually Bruce Jenner becoming a woman.
Right.
And I showed Sarah, and she said, that's a bunch of crap. She said, that would never happen. And I said, you know what? I've seen things in the National Enquirer that end up happening. He said, that'll never happen. So then this whole thing comes out where, you know, he leaves and becomes,
crazy.
You know, and by the way, I have respect for whatever he's doing because he seems like a
But I mean, they knew back then. I wonder who leaked that out.
Well,
you know, because I saw his documentary.
Somebody knows stuff, right?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Never got to ask David Pecker how he gets that stuff. He probably holds it very close to that. Right? But I'm excited of all your ventures and adventures, and I know you're going to do phenomenal. And I know that there's going to be a lot of people that are going to. We got to know. Is this a question? Oh, okay. So she said to mention that the photography, Bill Dobbins.
Bill Dobbins.
Yeah.
Are you talking about this lovely picture here?
Yeah, Bill Dobbins did that photo of you.
He did that photo. That was after the 92 Miss Internationals.
Is this when was this before he came up and talked to you before your contract or after?
Oh, I'm pro.
So you're pro at this
Miss
point.
Internationals. That was the Arnold's Expo.
Oh, yeah.
So this was my first pro show.
That's in Columbus?
I was in Columbus. And I just know that because of my hair. Because I had really long hair after the North Americans is when I turned pro. So when I competed at the Arnold's Classics Miss Internationals in 1992, that was my first pro showing.
I always loved your look. You had an exotic.
Thank you.
You always had an exotic look. I always thought you stood out because you were different than everybody. But
thank you.
You're still beautiful as you always have been.
Thank you.
But I always liked your look. It always was just a very unique look. Don't you think so, Sarah?
She's one of my favorites.
Yeah. Aww.
One of my favorites.
Thank you. See, that's it. I'm moving in. I'm taking over that couch.
Actually, this is not a bad space to hide. It's kind of like a refuge.
Right.
We got a great.
I love
downtown.
your studio. This is awesome.
Thank you.
Very nice.
Well,
you know, there was one thing I did fail to mention though, and my partner's gonna kick me if I don't. And I'm so sorry because I've got a lot going on.
You got a lot going on.
I was approached, a lot of people approach, not just me, but when I talk to the other athletes and or, friends of mine that are actors or stunt people or what have you, producers and that, people will always approach, say, can you help me with this? Or what do you think of that? And help me do this and put your name on that, So I will take a look at stuff. And this gentleman who I knew only over Facebook, and he reached out and he goes, Sharon, please, can I have a Zoom call with you? I have a book that I wrote. I did this show, and also, I just loved his passion. And I thought, well, send me the copy of the book. He goes, no, I got to do a Zoom with you. You got to see how passionate. And I love people that are passionate about what they do, right? Like, all right. So I have a Zoom call with him, and it's like, And his story is, his name's Richard Webb. And his story is, he did, he's a couple years older than I. And so he's in his 60s.
I think I say 36.
And yeah, you're right. Oh, see, I
Jack Benny, 35.
had a chance to, anyway.
There's still a chance.
You're telling me there's chance. He competed in a few shows and he won the Masters at the Muscle Beach shows and stuff. I never turned pro, but he, full-time job, single dad, older. He did this older. And he loved it so much. And what he learned, and one is his shows at the Muscle Beach, he wrote a book about it, a little training book called Fat Burning Secrets.
How cool.
So I had him send me the book, and I thought, you know what I love about it? It's a simple read. It is basic. It's just the basic tools. That's all you need. It shows you how simple it is. And a gentleman like Richard, who again, full-time job, single dad, older in life. He went and he did it. He got in great shape, and he wanted to share how easy it is. So you know what? I'm gonna write the forward, which I did.
Good.
We cleaned it up a bit, tweaked it a little, so it is available. Fat Burning Secrets on Amazon.com. Richard Webb and Sharon Bruneau. You'll see us both in the cover.
So maybe we should get a hold of Richard and see if he'd like to come on and talk about
the book. Yeah, because it's a great. Okay? Honestly, we all have a story, and I mean, it's a great story because so many people, they follow their passion and they succeed, and he loved it so much he had to write about it, and I love that. I just loved his passion.
I like the fact that most people work and they probably have always wanted to compete, but didn't think that they could. And so this will reach a lot of people. A lot of
people that's like, well, this guy can do it. Right. Not that he's a schlub or anything. He looks great. He's still in great shape, right? Sure. But I mean, hey, with this guy and his busy schedule and everything else, if he can do it, so can I. And he just broke it down. And it's just his journey, like what he did to win his show, the way he ate, the way he trained. And it's like, and he's exactly right. That's what I love about it. Simple. Keep it simple, stupid. And I tell you, also on the note that, a lot of people, I work full time. I don't have time. Right. And plus, especially I have kids too. I know it's a big handful. When I started training for the North Americans, and I did turn pro, but you bust out. I was waitressing and bartending at a strip club in Vancouver in the day. So and those are long, and you're on your feet all night, but I got my workouts in and I kept eating, and I worked, 5 nights a week, took the night shift so I can have my days off for training, right? But, if you really want it bad enough, and again, it goes back to, you have to be selfish and the passion, the drive. If you got that drive, just go for it, right? No excuse.
So we need more. We need, for some reason, we have people, and I don't know if it's the pandemic or the dumbing down of society with the phone. It's a double-edged sword. We kind of talked about it a little bit. We need to find our way back to where people can dream and go after their dreams. A lot of people don't have dreams anymore. God. It seems like they've lost their dreams.
It's a heartbreak. Well, because so many people lost their homes, their businesses. We were talking earlier when I came into the studio, the suicide rate of our youth. It was a horrible, dark, depressing time for everyone. That not only did we lose people from COVID, it shut down the world. Just a scary, scary time, right? And you look back at all the photos with the empty streets in New York, and school shut down, everything shut. I mean, what's there to look forward to? So yeah, we just need to pick up, the beat again, just, we're going to get, like you said, don't stop chasing your dreams. Everything is opened again, whether it be, sports or, whatever you want to pursue. But yeah, a lot of that has been quashed because of the pandemic. It did a lot more damage than make people sick. And unfortunately.
Psychologically had a huge effect on depression.
Damaging. Yeah, there's a lot of depressed people, and that's scary.
We don't know the numbers of that.
Yeah, we don't.
So if you have any advice for anybody that maybe feels like they're in a tunnel, they can't get out, they're dark.
I've been there.
So what would you advise them to do? I mean, is it a time thing?
We all have a different time, and someone's going through a dark period right now, and I'm grateful she reached out to me because she knows what I went through, and it's just, and I don't wish upon anyone, but we all have our time. We all have our time to do what we feel we need for ourselves. With depression, you pull back and you kind of crawl under a rock and you don't accept the help. You don't want this. You don't want that. You don't want people to be around you. You don't want to be seen. I just felt like I was spiraling down this dark drain and I couldn't climb back up. It was awful. But it took something that was offered to me. And I'll never, with a heavy loss like that, you eventually learn to live with it. But you do find that by pulling yourself back and away from your friends, your family, you hurt them more than how you're hurting, I found. Because accept the help. I don't, whatever situation, accept the help and don't hide yourself. You need to be around people. And I know I didn't want to be around anyone. Just leave me alone. Just let me cry. And I was drinking and smoking me. That's how I just wanted to be. I just hated you get into this funk. And it was the Muscle Beach induction that it's like, no, I still have a career. Because you feel like your world is over, right? And, no, I still have a career, whether it be in bodybuilding or production. I still have friends that love me. My dad was still alive at the time.
What year was that?
It happened in 2013. And then 2018 was my induction.
I was reaching out to you.
So everybody was,
I felt something. We didn't know each other really well. And
awful.
But I was reaching out, and I kept trying to get you to come on the radio, and I kept trying to get you to. I was trying to get.
I just didn't want to be seen because I looked bad, and I lost a lot of weight.
But I knew you were going through something.
Yeah, thank you.
And I sensed it, and I kind of heard through the grapevine of what your loss was.
Yeah.
And I was reaching out because I've been there myself, and I had been in in a very similar situation.
So now we're in a similar stature. If you've been through it yourself, by going through that. And I was always told, especially production Fox, we're going to get you on camera. You're going to talk about it. You're going to help so many other people. I can't even help myself right now. I don't know. But now that, I see the light came back, right? Now I'm prepared to help others.
Right. Timing is perfect.
Right. And I feel it because I just feel the shift in the energy within myself again, right? In the fitness bodybuilding world, right? I'm not talking about the stunt people, the Marine Corps, the people that I also have been involved with, part of my family through Scott, right? But through my fitness, who the first one to reach out, and he took me to lunch, and I cried on his shoulder in the restaurant. Bill Dobbins. Yeah. And he told me, it's going to be okay. You just don't understand. People go through, it's like, no, you don't understand. My situation is different. Listen, he goes, no, Sharon, you're going to be fine. You're strong enough to get through this, right? And I would put him on the phone with my dad, and he and my dad had long conversations, because my dad was so worried. He was still in Canada, and I was in California, right? But Bill Dobbins, yeah. I mean, I don't seem to be, because we worked a lot together, and he was always a friend. But I mean, it just shows, like, people just think, you work together as part of the routine, and he gets paid for taking our photos and stuff. No, it is a family. We are a family.
It is a family.
Yeah. So thank you.
No, because I understood, and I do understand, but I do think right now it's the worst it's ever been.
It's frightening. And what makes me sad, like you said, I'm sad for anyone that's going through, emotional changes and difficulties and or physical, but it damages your psyche, right? And it just messes your head. More so is the youth. It's so sad is to see our youth go through such depression and such high rates of suicide. For a while, I was working with the Native youth on reservations, because the suicide rates on the reservations have always been high because they don't see a way out, right? And just the way that the natives are still, I'm Native, I'm proud of my heritage. But just the way a lot of the reservations in our communities are still suppressed to the day. But then COVID brought out, now we were saying that the youth you couldn't go to, I loved high school, they couldn't do sports, they couldn't go to school, they're missing on their proms, they couldn't see their friends.
Right.
That's important when, you're a young person, like your friends, and you're cute, right? Oh, just horrible. It was sad. It was such an awful time. But
we need to get back to where we need to bring some of that period of time of our lives and share it with the younger group of people that are out there that are trying to find their way.
Yeah. And I always say, I keep repeating myself, but I always found that it's through sports. Don't care what your sport is. I think it's important to belong to something. Yeah. Right?
Sure.
It's important to have to show up for something, be accountable, and and then you get to give your worth to the world, to other people, and you build that camaraderie. And
I agree.
I
appreciate your time, and I appreciate you and what you're doing. I think it's a great time for you to come out and do all the things you're going to do. It's going to be very successful. I'm making a prediction. I feel it, and because you're doing it for the right reasons, and because you. I'm
soaking your energy. Thank you. Oh, I love you guys. Thank you so much. I truly appreciate that.
We love you, and we look forward to helping any way we can.
I'll take you up on that. And likewise as well. Call me anytime. Anytime.
Well, I have some friends that are involved with reservations in San Diego.
Oh, okay.
That maybe we could talk to you about.
Absolutely.
Some things that are going on in San Diego.
Yeah.
We're very involved.
Super.
We'll talk more about it.
Because I have been a face, and I've been involved in a campaign for No More Stolen Sisters.
Yeah.
And the murder of missing women, Indigenous women. So you might have seen it through my feeds. Very proud of. So I stand strong for Native issues, I mean, I have a love for everyone.
Yeah.
But I like to be, because I was able to take something and run with it. And I want to get back and represent for my Native community as well. Right. But I mean, I'm here for everyone. So, maybe we should all do something together.
I think we should. Thank you for being here.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
I'm glad.
This was fun.
I'm glad we got a chance to do it. And, like I said, we're there for you, whatever you need help with.
Thank you so much.
Okay.
Thank you, Brett.
Okay, everybody. That was a great show. Even somebody was calling in while we were trying to finish our conversation.
It wasn't my phone.
It was calling. But anyway, thank you to our sponsors. You know who you are. They're all listed there at the bottom. Thank you for what you do. Thank you for believing in what we do. And everybody out there, remember, be nice to each other and take care.
Bye, everybody. Thank you. Hi, everyone. Thank you for joining me today. If you like what you saw, please subscribe, share, leave a comment, hit the like button. It'll help this channel grow. Also, if there's a topic or a subject you'd like me to cover that hasn't been on here yet, send me a note. Maybe you'll see it here next week. I also want to take this time to send out a huge thank you and appreciation to my Patreon members that are helping make this possible. If you'd like to become a Patreon member for as little as $5 a month, you'll have first access to all the videos, news, tips, and photos. Plus, I'll be doing 2 lives a week. So come join me there. It'll be fun. Also, I want to thank everyone that's been joining me at SharonBruneau.net, my website where you can find full galleries of never-seen-before photos and videos and classics, plus my fitness, nutrition manuals, tips, and videos. So either way, I look forward to seeing everyone. Peace out. Keep flexing. Love and light. I appreciate everyone. Thank you so much. Till next time.